Seto, Chapter 17. Nacho's not going to believe this. Translating Chinese characters isn't easy. In fact, it's just about the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I tossed my Chinese-English dictionary onto my desk with a huff. Locating a character in a Chinese-English dictionary is way harder than finding a needle in a haystack. I hate this thing, I grumble. My mom thought it an apt and exciting Christmas present one year. 6-year-old me bawled her eyes out. I rubbed my forehead and glanced at my Código clock. 11:38 p.m. Mom went to sleep an hour ago. In that hour, I've translated exactly one character in the book's title. One. Something book. Thanks, Captain Obvious, I say to the book. I stretch my arms over my head, yawning. If I'm going to translate this thing and attempt to learn some Chaoshi by Monday, I'll need to work faster. And in order to do that, I need to break my promise to Dad and tell someone. Even though that someone is probably fast asleep right now. Nacho is not going to believe this. I scale the crisscrossing tree below Nacho's room, as I've done 100 times before. Nacho's blinds are drawn. I tap against the glass, rapid fire, like a woodpecker. When he doesn't come to the window, I start tapping out random tunes like Happy Birthday and sing along under my breath. In the middle of Puff, the magic dragon, Nacho's face appears, blurry-eyed. He slides his window open. I climb through. About time, Sleeping Beauty. I cross his room and flick on his desk lamp. Nacho groans and flops back onto his mattress, pulling his pillow over his head. I thought we were celebrating tomorrow. His voice is muffled. I want to show you something. I try to yank his pillow away. Nacho holds on fast. I poke one of the woolly mammoths on his pajamas. You don't need sleep. It's a weekend. I have to be up super early tomorrow to help my mom at the craft fair, remember? I keep poking the mammoth until he says, What are the chances you'll go away and come back tomorrow afternoon? 0, -0. Nacho tosses his pillow aside, shoves on his glasses. Okay, I'm awake. What's going on? Are you okay? His hair looks like it's been hit by a tornado, and there is a line of crusted roll running down from the corner of his mouth. I've got one of my usual jabs on the tip of my tongue when Nacho leans forward, concern branching his brow. I take a deep breath and start telling him everything at super speed. Nacho's eyes grow wider and wider, especially when I pull my copy of Xiaoxi's book from my backpack along my Chinese-English dictionary. You found this yesterday, and you're just telling me now? I thought we told each other everything, he says, though it doesn't sound mad. He sounds like he's in awe. An awe? He sounds like he's in awe. Hunching over the printed sheets, he thumbs through each page. Look at these drawings. What does it say? I can't read it. Nacho gives me an exasperated look. You've been going to Chinese school pretty much every week since you were 6. Do you know how hard Chinese is? There is no alphabet. I need to memorize every single word in the Chinese language. There are like 50,000 characters or something. Okay. How many do you know? I know numbers 1 to 10 and the characters in my name and my parents' names. I scratch my head. I also remember person, mouse, feed, up, down, and day. So that's, I type my fingers, 21 characters. Very useful. I pelt him with my Chinese English dictionary. As if you could do better. I can. Nacho picks up his phone from his desk and starts jamming away with his thumbs. I lean my head to see what he's doing, my chin grazing his arm. He's downloading something. Look! Nacho Hori screams out. Translate now! Translation app? Of course! I was just about to do that, I say. Sure you were. Nacho loads his app and selects Chinese to English and then instant translation. Nacho's phone's camera starts up. I hold the first page of the book under the lens. This is amazing. Why do I need to go to Chinese school? Or I wave my Chinese English dictionary. Use this medieval torture device when there are apps. Processing, the app says. Finally, words appear on the screen. No results. I exhale. Is this writing really hard to read or something? Nacho asks. I peer down. Yeah, I guess it's kind of scribbly. We probably need to rewrite every word into the program. But there must be hundreds of words in this book, I wail. Thousands! Better get started then, Nacho says. I select manual on the translation app and draw my finger across the screen, writing out the characters next to book in the title. No results. I squint. Is that a straight line or a curved line? Is that a dot or a smudge? Does it matter? Yeah, it probably does. After all, an O with an extra line becomes a Q. And a Q range makes no sense at all. Instead of orange. Chinese characters are infinitely more complicated. For the next half hour, we take turns trying to copy each of the characters on the cover, one at a time until the app finally spews out English we sort of recognize. The first character is translated to like, the second pleased, next off, the last one book. Already translated, thank goodness. Like, pleased, of book? I scrunch up my nose. That's a weird title. Nacho looks thoughtful. Maybe it's, of course, I like this pleasing book. That doesn't make sense. I examine the words again. How about, of all the books I like, this is the one I am most pleased with? Yeah, 'cause that makes a lot more sense, huh? I swat Nacho's shoulder and try again. Please like the book? You missed the off. No, wait. I grab Nacho's phone from his hands. Let me try something. I recall one thing from Chinese school from the day my teacher confiscated the Codiquo comic book I had concealed within my workbook. So for once, I had nothing to do but listen. Chinese characters aren't like English words. Some of the characters have to work together to create one word. I try writing all 4 characters together in the app. Something, 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 something. And press translate. Out comes Book of Joy. I'm brilliant, I cry. Shh, my parents are sleeping. Nacho jabs me in the ribs with his elbow. All right, genius, now explain why a book about fighting would be called that. Even from the start, Xiaoxi's words are cryptic. You know how some people give their friends high fives when they're happy? Maybe my ancestor punched them in the face. Nacho nods like that makes perfect sense. You guys are definitely related. Let's keep going. I flip past the first 3 character-packed pages. Nope, nope, nope. Trying to translate those would take me a month. Plus the good stuff with the pictures comes after. We figure out the names of a few techniques. They all seem to include some kind of animal. Traditionally, Kung Fu forms are known for using animal names, like the tiger, the crane, and the snake. So I gaze over these ones. What I really want to get to are the instructions on how to perform these techniques. Using the translation app is painful, but things start to go more smoothly when we notice that many characters like spin, grab, twirl, and leap are repeated. The confusing words, however, are ones like sing and instructions like make your body big. I wish I knew how to do that, I say wistfully. I'd be 6 feet tall by now. Befriend small distances. Nacho holds out his hand to me. We shake and he says, "Hi, millimeter, let's be buds." I crack up. Link arms. I furrow my brow. Why would I want to get that close to an attacker? Dance together. I bow and extend my palm to Nacho, saying, "Mr. Evil Attacker, sir, may I have this dance?" Encircle and embrace. I guess attackers need hugs too, Nacho muses. And one that sounds more like poetry than an instruction. The wind makes friends of reeds and willows, while the mighty oak trembles with fear. I have no idea what oak trees have to fear. Some meaning must be lost in translation. Luckily, the illustrations are so detailed that even if the description don't make sense, I can follow along with the pictures, which are incredible. Some moves are big, grand, and airborne, with a focus on full circular arm movements and fancy footworks. Others are small, quick steps, delicate wrist twirls, and gentle dips. It really does look like dancing, but so much more. A third of the way into translating the Book of Joy, I decide we should translate Yeye's notes too. And pull it out of my pocket. The app confirms that it is my mom said, not just society, but the society. Protected from the society. I wonder what that means, I say. Nacho looks like he's thinking really hard. Then he yawns loudly, and I see that the sky is already turning a dusty blue-gray tinge with a hazy yellow. I glance at the time. It's 5 a.m. already? Yep, I have to be up in an hour, but Nacho bloodshot eyes glow. I gotta say, Modesty, this is really awesome. I know, right? I have to practice so much. The director hates me already, and he thinks I have foot fungus. You, what? Nothing. I just really need to impress him. Don't worry, he'll come around, Nacho says. People can change, you know. His gaze locks onto mine, and for a second, that awkward, nice feeling from when Nacho hugged me in the kitchen is back. Then he blinks and looks away. I pack up to leave, slipping my copy of the Book of Joy gently into my backpack. I glance around the room. Looking for this? Nacho holds up my Chinese-English dictionary. Yeah, thanks. One would kill me if I lost it. As I reach out to grab the dictionary, I peer up into my friend's pale face. I can't think of anyone else who would stay up until 5 a.m. for me. He really does have my back. My stomach wobbles. Nach, I find myself leaning slightly toward him. He is still holding on to my dictionary, so am I. I don't know what I'd do without you. His eyes widen. I falter. Without you as my punching bag, I say hastily, poking him in the ribs. I must be tired. That's why my brain feels fuzzy. Nacho lets go of my dictionary. Get out of here. I climb down just as the morning rays pick up over the horizon. I sneak back through the side door of my house and tiptoe up the stairs to my room. I set my backpack next to my Cody Quote photo. Not only is Dad's secret family history mind-blowing, the Xiaoxi Shu moves are amazing. A martial art disguised as a dance? My ancestor was a genius. I bet no one's seen anything like this before. If I can perform some of those moves at the movie auditions, there is no way I won't win the part. Now all I have to do is learn Xiaoxi Shu in a day.